I guess you're wondering why you have to watch this video. Well, I want you to watch this video because I don't want you to miss any of the lessons while I'm on my journey at this conference, learning more exciting ways to teach our young people how to accelerate in mathematics. So, I didn't want you to miss this wonderful lesson while I was away, so we decided to videotape the lesson on Chapter 5, Data, Graphs, and Statistics. In this chapter, we cover numerous of things. We start out with finding the averages, median, modes, and then we learn how to interpret tables, pictographs, bar graphs, line graphs, and circle graphs. And so we're just going to have a wonderful day. So we're going to start out with talking about averages. Does anybody know what averages are? Give you some definitions that I need you to write in your notes. What is the average? Average. Another name for the average is the mean. You might see that word later on in life. The other word for average is mean. And what it is it's the sum of all the data divided by the number of data. All right? The sum of the data divided by the number of data. So now, suppose we have, let's see, suppose this is our data. Okay. So we have this right here, this is our data. So if I ask you to find the average, the average would be equal to all of this data added up divided by what? The number of data. 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 5. Okay, so now let's add this data up. Let's add up 87, 85. All right, let's see here. 9 and 9 is 18 plus 2, 20. 8 and 8 is 16, so that's 36. 36 plus 5 is 41. So, 41 divided by 5. So let's calculate that. 5 into 4, 16. Excuse me, I think I said 41 divided by 5, but it should be 416 divided by 5. So 5 goes into 40, yes, 8 times. Very good. Then we subtract, bring down to 6. 5 goes into 16. Yes, 3 times. You got it. Okay, subtract. Oh, we had this one left over. But what did we just learn in chapter 3? We can add that 0. So 5 into that out 2 times. So there it is. The average is 83.2. Sum of the data divided by all of the data. All right, our next topic, the next we want to talk about is the median. The median, make sure you write this down in your notes. The median is the middle score once the data is in numerical order. All right, so let's take the same data that we used before The only thing is now we have to put it in order from smallest to largest. So we have 52, 85, 87, 96, 96. So which one is in the middle? So we have 1, 2 on this side, 2 on this, so this is the middle score. So the median is 87. Now, suppose we had an additional score. Suppose our data was 52, 85, 87, 96, 96. Suppose I had one more data, we had 97. We have an even set of data. So that means we have two numbers that are in the middle. When you have an even set of data, you have to find the average of the middle scores. You have to add up the two middle numbers and divide by 2. So we have to add up 87 and 96. And then divide that number by 2. We have to say 183 divided by 2. So this will give us 2 into 183. 2 goes in 18. 9 times. And 2 goes into 3 one time. Well, we got that 1 left over, so we add our decimal points. So we have, the median is, for this score, for this set of data, the median is 91.5. All right. Now, the next type of data we're going to talk about is the mode. The mode is the data that appears the most. So, from this data, we have, we're going to use our same data that we had before, and I want you to help me to find the mode. Which one of these numbers appears the most? If you notice, right here, 96 appears twice, all the other numbers appear once. So 96 is the mode. Okay? So those are the 3 central tendencies or statistics that we're going to be talking about in this particular chapter. There'll be other things we're going to be talking about in this chapter, but that's where we are going to begin. The next thing we're going to talk about are the different types of graphs and how to read those graphs. If you open your book to page 334, and you see where they have the good old Giant Food Pharmacy, and right under there you see the pictograph. You see a graph that says pictograph, number of prescription filled in the supermarkets. All right, if you see those, they have those little prescription bottles in the picture. How can you determine, suppose I wanted to know how many prescriptions were filled in 1999? What would you do? Okay, you would look at the little prescription bottle that's right there in the picture, and it says 50, one little bottle represents 50 million prescriptions. That's called a key. That is called a key. So each little bottle represents 50 million prescriptions. So in 1999, how many whole bottles do you see? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 50 is 350. And then we get this little piece of the bottle, so that's over 357 million prescription bottles. Okay? Now, let's turn our book. Hopefully you have your book out while you're watching the video. I should have told you that. Let's look at the book. So now let's turn our books to page 354 while we talk about this next section, which is on reading and interpreting tables. Reading and interpreting tables. So I want you to look at example 1 on population density. Okay? The following table lists data regarding 11 countries around the world. So look at this table. Which country has the largest population? So you would just go down the list and find the number, find the country under the population column which has the largest number. And if you notice in the population column, China has the greatest population. But suppose I didn't ask you what country has the smallest population density. So you would go over to the 4th column, which it says population density per square mile. If you notice in that column, the country with the smallest number is Australia. So that's basically how you read a table. Okay? So let's look at page 355. This is another type of table. This is a nutrition table on the box of the Frosted Flakes. All right, if you see, what is the serving size? What's the serving size of the Frosted Flakes? What is one serving size? When you look right there, what says serving size? See that number? 3/4 of a cup is considered to be one serving. All right, so how many servings are in this box of Frosted Flakes? Servings per container. See what it says? About 18. That's what it is. Okay. Now, how many calories are there in one serving? You find the word calories and you look over there. It's 110 with a half a cup of cereal. Half a cup of milk. And this is vitamin A, D milk, fat free. It's only 150 calories. All right. How many carbs are in Frosted Flakes? 27 grams. You go look down total carbs. All right. That's how we are reading tables. And like I told you before, let's turn again to page. Let's turn now. It's page 356. This is another table. And this is a table of touchdown passes. This is a pictograph. Remember I spoke about that before? A pictograph is when they use pictures to illustrate the amount of data. And at the bottom of the data, you notice there is a key. The key is the little football represents, in this particular one, 10 touchdowns. So if I was to ask you which quarterback had the most touchdown passes, you should probably tell me Tom Brady, and then you should tell me how many? 50. He had 50 touchdown passes in 2007. Okay? Very good, very good. Now, let's turn our books to page 363. where we will talk about the bar graphs. Okay? Talk about the bar graphs and the line graphs. If you notice right here, this first graph in example 1, this is an example of a bar graph, a horizontal bar graph. This bar graph illustrates information going horizontally, and this is about foreign visits by presidents. And this information was taken from the source of the State Department of the White House. So this is before, this book was printed before Obama came in office. And this is of presidents from the 34th to the 43rd president, all the way up to George Bush. Okay, so which president had the most visits? George W. Bush. And he had about how many visits? If you look at the chart very closely, that red line is halfway between the 140 and the 130. So I would say about 135. Now, if we want to know how much would George H.W. Bush, how many visits did he have? You see the little red thing is right on the line. So he had about 60 foreign visits. All right, now let's turn to the next page. The next page is also a bar graph, but it's a comparative bar graph of childhood cancer survivor rates. And if you see the listing there, it has all the different types of cancers. The blue represents the survivors in 1962, and the red represents the present. As you notice, the survival rate of the present is better than in 1962. And if you think about it, I wonder why. Why are there more survivor rates now than then? I bet you guessed it already. Yes. More science has been done. More research has been done to help discover new cures for childhood cancer. So young people are living longer. Now, looking at this table, which cancer has the highest survival rate in the present day? If you look at it, it's the acute hemoblastic leukemia, cancer of the blood. They have a good survival rate now. And if you look at it, in 1962, they had the lowest survival rate. What was the survival rate of Hodgkin's disease in 1962? What percentage of the people survived? Let's look at the table. So I said 1962, so we're going to look at the blue. We're going to look at the blue rectangle, and it goes all the way across to what percentage? 50%. Now, what if I wanted to know the same thing for the present day? Wow, it's gone all the way up to 90%. So, what's the difference in the survival rate for 1962 and present day for Hodgkin's disease? What would you do? When I say difference, what am I talking about? Subtraction. So we're going to what? Subtract 50 from 90 to get what? 40%. So the Hodgkin's disease survival rate has gone up 40%. That is a wonderful thing. All right, now, the next type of graph in this section, let's turn to page 366, is the line graph. The line graph. And if you notice, the line graph is represented by dots. And those dots are connected with lines. And this way you can see, this particular graph is on Indiana's popcorn production. Indiana's popcorn production from 2002 to 2008. So, how much popcorn was produced in 2006? So we go across the bottom of the graph to 2006, find the dot there, then go across. That says 200. But it's what? 200 million. 200 million pounds. That's how we read that. So in 2007, how much popcorn production was there? Almost 300 million. So what is the difference in 2006 and 2007? What do we say difference is? Subtraction. So 300 minus 200 is what? Yes, 100 million pounds of popcorn increased from 2006 to 2007. People must have really been going to the movies, so they had to just make some more popcorn. All right. Now, let's see here. Okay, one more graph we need to talk about. And so let's turn to page 374 of our books, okay? 374. We have the circle graph, the lovely circle graph. And this is a circle graph, sometimes known as a pie chart or pie graph, of children in foster care. All right? Now, if you notice, we have, and there are, the pie graph is based on their ages. How many children are under 1 year old in foster care? So we found under 1 year old. What does it say? 4%. 4% of the children that are in foster care are under 1 year old. How many are from 1 to 5? Oh, 24% are from 1 to 5. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. If I have 5,000 children in foster care, how many of those children are between the ages of 6 and 10? If I have 5,000 children in foster care, how many are between the ages of 6 and 10? Well, the first thing you have to do is find out the percentage of children in foster care from 6 to 10. So that's 25%. So if we have 5,000 kids in foster care and 25% of them are 6 to 10, how many? So let's calculate that. The word of means to multiply. So we want to find 25% of the 5,000. Now we know there's more than 5,000 kids in foster care. But what I want you to do, this is just for illustration purposes. Now, we're going to change this 25% to a decimal, which is 0.25. And then we're going to multiply that with the 5,000. Okay? So let's do that over here. 5,000 times 25. 0, 0, 0, 5, 2, 0, 0, 0, 10. 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 1. Now, according to what we learned in chapter 3, then we have to have two numbers behind the decimal point, 1, 2. Wow. So if there were 5,000 kids in foster care, then 1,250 of them are between the ages of 6 and 10. From 6 to 10. Okay, now, that concludes our lesson on chapter 5. So what I need for you to do now is to pull out your homework assignment sheets and get busy. I need you to do all of chapter 5. 5:1, 5:2, 5:3, and 5:4. Very small assignment. You can do it. You can do it. Don't worry about it. Have this ready when you come to class on tomorrow. Thank you and have a great day. It's been lovely, 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 lovely. See you on next time.